V'yomer lakim yihi or. And God said, let there be light. Vayihi or, and there was light. Bless you. Bless you. Now you know what's amazing? God gave us the Baal Shem Tov. And God gave us Chassidus. And you know, Chassidim, we have a way of explaining verses that like open you up in a different type of a way. So the simple meaning of the verse is Vayomer Lakim Yihi Or. And God said, let there be light, Vayihi Or, and there was light. But the Baal Shem Tov and the holy Chassidic masters explain that read the verse and just slow it down. Vayomer. Who's the one that's talking here? Not God. Vayomer, when a human being says, Elokim, God, Yihi Or, I need some light in my life. Give me some light. I feel I'm in a dark place. When a human being says, Vayomer, he says, Elokim, God, Yihi Or, give me some light. Vayihi Or, there will be light. When you're stuck in your anxiety, you're stuck, mixed up, you're stuck in your darkness, just cry out, Elokim, God, Yihi Or, give me some light. Help a brother out. Vayihi Or, and you will see the light. The light will come. Vayar Elokim es ha'or ki tov, and it says that God saw this light was good. What does it mean it was good? Now look at this Rashi. Vayar Elokim es ha'or ki tov v'yavdel, and it says that God separated. So God saw that the light was good, and then He separated. Vayar Elokim es ha'or ki tov v'yavdel. Because it was good, He had to separate? And what's the connection here? Because it was good, why should you have to separate it? It's good. God saw the light was good, and He separated it. What, if it's so good, why are you separating? Okay, keep it lebedik. Keep it involved. Says Rashi. These are Rashis that will build you as human beings. Those are Rashis that build you as Yidden. You got to know these Rashis. That's why we're going through Project Bereishis. This is the most fundamental teachings. So Rashi says like this: Af bezeh, that this anotzrichen ledivrei agoda. To understand this, we need to go into the deeper topics. And to understand this topic, we have to go deeper into what this means. Because it seems strange. If it's good, why would you separate it? And yes, Rabbi Reich, Hashem Echad. And we love Rashi. Hashem Echad. So, what does it mean? If it's so good, why are you separating it? So look what Rashi says. Ra'ohu, that Hashem saw this light that was created on day one. He saw this light that was so good, this light. Remember, is this time with sunlight, by the way? Why not? How do you know it's talking about sunlight? Sunlight only came on the fourth day. This is a light that's not from the sun. This is the Or HaGonas. It's the light of Hanukkah, boy. Yeah. This is the light that you see. This is the Or HaGonas. This is the hidden light. But what does it mean, Or HaGanuz? This is the source of Or HaGanuz right now. You're learning the Rashi of Or HaGanuz. A light that is hidden, the hidden light. Because Ganuz means it went into Geniza. Hashem put in the Geniza. You know what the Geniza is? The Geniza box? It's not gone. If you put your old beat up siddur through all your tears and your prayers, in the Geniza box, so it's not gone, it's there, you can go and pull it out. So this light, God saw this light was so good. Eina kedai lishtamish boi rishayim. That God did not want evil people to get a hold of this light. What's the problem? It says this light would let you see from one end of the world to the other. This light would let you see through finite reality. This light would let you see into the human psyche. This light would let you read people's minds. It would go into their hearts. Well, if this light got into the wrong hands, and got into the hands of the wicked people, and that's not a good look. And a lot worse than that. That what would evil people do if they could look inside the minds and the hearts of human beings? How they would manipulate. What was it called? Public relations. The art of propaganda. Professional propaganda. If this light would really get into the wrong hands, then they would use this light to manipulate the world. Because this is an otherworldly light. This is a light also that let you be like God. Because God sees inside people's thoughts. God sees through one end of the world to the next. God can read your mind. So this is a very powerful light. If this light would be in the wrong hands, it would be devastational. So Ra'o ve'enu kedai l'shtamish be'rishayim. It would not be appropriate that evil people would have this light. And therefore, what did God do? Hivdiloi. God separated this light. God separated this light. L'tzadikim lasad lavoi. That this light would be reserved for the righteous in the time to come. That this light would be a special light that would be given. And therefore, that's what it means that Hashem was Yavdalit. So Rashi says that's the deeper storyline happening here. What's the simple pshat? V'lefi pshutoi, kach parsheu. The simple pshat says Rashi, Ra'o ki toiv. God said that it was good. He saw that this light is good. Ve'eina loi. It would not be appropriate, beautiful, good for the light and the choshech shiu mishtamshem b'erbuvia. It would not be good for the light's sake if they would get zugemisht. That's Yiddish for zugemisht. And all mixed up together. If this light would get mixed up with the darkness, it would not be appropriate. This is a light that is such a good light, that if this light would be intermingling with the darkness, it would not be matim. It's not always, matim. If you see a tzaddik in a dark place, we need to be able to create separation and distinction. That this light, it's eina no'eloi, v'lachoshishu mishtamshim b'erbuvia, that they should be all tsugemished. And therefore, v'yavdil means v'kova lazeh, that God established for this, the light, tchumoi, its own place. And where would He give it? Bayon. But the light isn't day. Hashem just saw that this light, which is so beautiful, let's give it a place during the day. This is all before there's a sun. And l'choshech, the other one, techuma balayla. So there are powers of day, or and choshech. Or would have its dwelling place in the yoim. Choshech would have its dwelling place balayla. So light and darkness is not day and night. Light and darkness come a long time before day and night. Any questions thus far from our dear friends? And Josh and Daniel. Yes, darkness always means concealment. Just like ego conceals my true identity, because I turn into this like, I'm like a stock guy, I'm like a macho guy, I'm the funny guy, I'm this. And it's concealing my soul. Now, it could be your soul can express itself with humor, but don't lose your identity. Lech lecha. I didn't hear all of Charlie's beautiful words, but I heard the end. And everything he says is gold. Lech lecha. You have to find your real self. And that was really Avram Avinu's mission, is go inside. Find yourself. And yourself is the soul. That's the ore. That's the light. And anytime that you see choshech, it's always conceptually something that which conceals godly existence. So yes, the backdrop of there being a creation is we have to conceal the infinite godly light. Because if we don't conceal the infinite godly light, there's not much space for creation. You want to go on a hot date? So let's go up to the sun. Not a good idea. No, I wanted to go like a one destination. A little too, OD. The Bahamas will do just fine. Like, don't fly too close to the sun. Bad idea. So God, and of course a sun pales in comparison. 1 billion suns would be like nothing compared to the light of God. So God wanted to make a creation, though. There had to be some level of a concealing of the light in order to now allow for creation and then shine that light into us. That's the soul. That's the neshama. So this light Hashem reserved, it says he put it into Geniz, it's the Or HaGanuz. But this light comes out certain times. It says that Hashem hid it in the Torah. So when you come to a morning Seder, and Mamash learn Elam Etzias, and we're going to learn about those black magic sorcerers who are doing all sorts of black magic that you have to be careful, dodge, avoid, run for cover. You're discovering the hidden light. Because the light is always something you have to find. That's the whole purpose of this world. Otherwise it would just be too obvious. So we're looking for this light. And the pasuk says that Hashem separated V'yikra Lakim Lai Or Yoim, and he called as like a code for this light day. V'lachisha Kara Laila, and he called this darkness night. Do I know how long a day and a night is, by the way? I have no idea. Because there's no sun yet. There's no constellations. He just called this light day. Well, what's a day? King David tells us that a day in Hashem's eyes is 1,000 years. And 1,000 years is just an analogy of a very long time. So, Yoim, what's a day? He called this day. I don't know what a day is yet. And he called the darkness night. Vayihi Erev Vayivoiker, and it was night and it was day. How long is an Erev? How long is a Boiker? We have no indication here. And therefore, we are very welcome to scientific precision and discovery of understanding that billions of years could have occurred in the beginning of this story. Yoim Echad, one day. How long is a day? We have no idea. It's before any all we have now is like light, darkness, being separated. We have Toyu, Boyu. We're in a very deep conceptual world here. There's many commentaries. We can only go into certain ones, because you only have certain entry access and jurisdiction. You need like key cards, for some of these things. Speak to the Rosh Shiva if you're interested in more details, or you want to up your access. You can go to Rebbe Chimayer also and say, Rebbe, You think I get more access into Yom Echad? What are your thoughts? And if he says yeah, so then you could proceed. We haven't even started the Ramban. Yeah.
Either Rambam or Ramban say that Bereishis is meant to be taken not so literally, but the rest of Torah is
All of Bereishis is very, meaning we never say that something is not also literal, but we just also, in the literal terms, don't know what a day is yet. Meaning there we come to the question, was there a snake that had two legs, that was bipedal walking around? So we'll get to the snake. We'll talk about it.
Doesn't he use the story of Hanoch as a parable?
So we understand that everything here is also teaching lessons. But were there literal things also? Was this some giant reptilian, two-legged beast that was literally seducing Eve? We'll get to that. Project Bereishis is a journey. Yom Echad, Rabbi Isai. Now, just one more Rashi. Yom Echad. Lefi Seder Lashon HaParsha, according to the language of how Bereishis reads, Hayaloi Lichtav Yom Rishon. It should have said Yom Rishon, the first day. Why does it say Yom Echad? One day. Day one. How do the other days read? Kamay Shekosa B'Shara Yom. The other days say Yom Sheni, Yom Shlishi, Yom Revi. Why did it go from Yom Echad? In the beginning of God's creating, not in order, like Rashi concluded. It's telling a story just to give you the backdrop to get to the light. The lama kosov echad. So Rashi answers, Lefi shahaya HaKadosh Baruch Hu yochid ba'olamai. Because on day one, God was one in the universe. Yom, a day of echad, of just oneness. How so? Shaloi nivru hamalachim ad yom sheni. The angels were only pulled up to the scene on the second day.
Why doesn't he talk about that?
Rashi is.
Like Hashem.
So Rashi's quoting you from Chazal, from the Torah Shabbal Peh. He's filling in that Moshe Rabbeinu was speaking to God at Mount Sinai, and Hashem said, I'll tell you why it says Yom Echad and not Yom Rishon. Because on Yom Echad, day one, it was just me. On day two, there's already me and some of these big angels, Matat, and all sorts of,
Was Matzah on day 2 or did he come later?
So we'll see.
There was no angels in the light.
Say again?
There was no angels in the light. Created.
No angels in the light. The or is
But it isn't like angels, it isn't like a light. I don't know.
not angels. Angels only come on the second day. Angels come on the second day. Okay, so Rabbi Isai, day one. Mitzvah Shem, tomorrow we begin day two. Day two is already very interesting because day two is the departure from unity. Day one is absolute unity consciousness. Day two, there's challenge. All of a sudden, we're going to see that things are not so pashut. So we see here that even with day and night getting split, it was all Hashem. There was no other created being, so to speak, that a person could make any mistake. Day two, there's already angels, ad kedei kach, that it looks like there's God and, God forbid. If anybody heard the Rosh Hashiva on Shabbos, God plus the family. And people who join the family later. I love that lush. Family. So on Yom Echad, it was clear. On Yom Sheni, we'll see, there's already things happening. Okay, Rabbi, we're going to do our Pirkei, we're going to do our Tehillim now.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, Daniel.
One of the things that I was reading, it says God saw that the light was good. Okay? Right? But like, if you knew that the light was good prior to creating it, you wouldn't say that. Was God uncertain of the fact that the light would be good?
Saying it is also amplifying it for creation, to experience. That God, of course it was good, but God now saying it makes it good in a language that we could relate to. In a certain way, let's say you go over to a kid, and he's interested in lollipops, and you say like, I've got a present for you. It's a Ferrari. And he starts crying. He's like, I thought you were going to give me a lollipop. And you're like, don't worry, this is a good gift. Like, just hold on to it. Is that God is translating to the creation. He's letting us know that there's something good here for our purpose. God knows it's good.
Right.
But for us who need to understand what's good, what's not good, God is translating in a language that we can understand. This is good. Which also makes us understand and look deeper that what does good mean?
Right.
What is good? The or kitov. There's something about that light is associated with good, which is also fascinating. Which I think is a human experience, except maybe those guys that were into Marilyn Manson and stuff. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying that that's generally like, or a goth thing. Like more like just like darkness and like darkness worship and stuff like that. And like bad stuff. Yeah, like gothic, like really like more like dark vibes. So most of the world, I think, still associates that light is good. And like darkness is bad.
Star Wars.
Yeah, light and darkness. And even though they try to throw you for a loop that maybe the darkness is good and the light is bad and Anakin's mamish Russia, and it's not pashut. They do play tricks on you. That if you were just to have a stadium of 100,000 people, you would say to them, light. That would probably conjure up good feelings, positive feelings. And if you said darkness, it would conjure up negative feelings. I ask our friends around the world, what do you say? Does darkness create good feelings or bad feelings? Dark. Does darkness make good feelings or bad feelings? Darkness.
Not necessarily bad.
Somebody's talking about Lucifer here. So yeah, dark.
You can see the comments on your phone.
You can see.
Makes dark feelings.
Makes dark. It's dark feeling.
Bad feelings. It's not bad. It's just dark. You can think it's bad.
You're saying, is darkness Ra?
I don't know.
Ra, evil. We know Ra means disconnection. Yeah, isn't that fascinating? Evil.
But like yin yang Tao and stuff is never not necessarily like push pull. One's not necessarily bad or necessarily good.
So it could be that the yin yang is speaking about something more fundamental, that you have night, you have day, that there has to be a balance, and even within the dark there's a little bit of light, within the light there's a little bit of dark. But here we're talking about Ratzon Hashem and rebellion against God. Doing God's will or rebellion against God's will. So to say that if I'm rebelling against God, well, you need, well, in a certain way on the creation of the world, from that perspective, that there needs to be, what's the greatest rebellion against God? That God concealed his light. I'll tell you something secret. You know, we're all about Kiddush Hashem. If you were to ask somebody, you know, what is your job title? What is the mission that we're here to do in the world? Kiddush Hashem. Is make God's name great in the world. That's it. Everything just fits under that. What's the opposite of Kiddush Hashem? Chilul Hashem is to remove God's name. Do you know who made the biggest Chillul Hashem ever? The creation of the world was the biggest Chillul Hashem because God's presence was concealed. So yeah, it was for a revelation ultimately, but you don't praise the concealment.
What do you mean?
When God made the world, He concealed His presence. Otherwise, where would we be? That's like, you can't fly up to the sun and survive. If God never concealed Himself, how could you and I exist? He's the infinite one. So what did He do? He concealed Himself. He made, in the Kabbalistic language, like a vacuum, a halal, hapanui. Okay, so when you learn the Kabbalah books, they say it's not really panui. You think that He took Himself out? No, it's all abstract. He's also filled in this space also.
So it wasn't really the Chillul Hashem.
It was only from our perspective of Chillul Hashem, but from Hashem's perspective, I feel Ani Hashem lo shanisi. Like the great prophet Malachi says, I am God in the name of God, and I do not change. I'm God from before creation, I'm the same God from after creation. From God's perspective, it's just God. What did creation bring? A new perspective from the perspective of creation. That's the only thing that happened by creation. So all of that was pashit on Yom Echad. On Yom Sheni, on the second day, all of a sudden we're going to see some interesting things. Angels get involved. Waters, there's going to be a big to-do with water, with the firmament. But we're also going to see something fascinating, is that there's an absence of something on the second day. There's an absence of Tov. Tov is missing. Where's the Tov? So much so that the third day has Tov 2 times. The day that is Tov b'kiflayim, 2 times Tov. So what's up with day 2? Something must have happened where day 2 is like...
Maybe it has something with angels.
Okay, so we'll see. May Hashem continue to bless us in learning God's beautiful Torah. Let us go into the Tehillah, my dear friends. And we'll do it with the Niggin. David Shalom, you want with the Niggin?
What page is it?
Is there another rule? There's only one rule.
Once Yosef Karduna wrote such a beautiful Niggin, it's almost like he made the Niggin. Okay? 975, my dear friends. If those of us around the world want to learn this, it's right here. 975, it's the Psalms of King David. Cookie Monster is asking, what is Tov? Tov means everything good and pure. Tov is also a code word for Shmir Sabris. For Yesoid, Tov. Tov is things that are good and beautiful. Tov. Okay, here we go, Rabbi Isai, Psalm 121. Shir lamalos, Esai Yereachim, Me'ayin yavo Ezri, Ezri me'im Adonai, Ose shomayim v'aretz, Aniten lamod raglecha, Al yanum shomrecha, hine lo yanum v'lo isha, shomer Yisrael, Adonai shomrecha, Adonai tzilecha, al yad yeminecha, yoimam hashemesh lo yakeka, v'yareach balayla, Adonai yishmocha mikol ra, yishmor es nafshecha, Adonai yishmor tzischa voyecha, me'ata ve'ad olam. Sagt der heilige Gemorre.